Hey everybody, it's me, Brandon Green, the Director of Marketing Communications for the Prison Entrepreneurship Program. Um, we're here today because I said I would shave my beard if I could raise $25,000 for the end of the year fundraising campaign for the Prison Entrepreneurship Program. I ended up raising about $31,000. That's incredible. So I am grateful for everybody who wanted to donate. We're just going to have a little quick time here. Going to shave this whole beard off. Going to talk to a few special guests. The main reason, though, that we're here is, PEP has not only transformed my life, but thousands of other lives over the last 16 years. And it made such a huge impact in my life that I wanted to do something special to really show that, how much PEP meant to me. And my beard, is kind of has been part of my identity for the longest part of my life. But when I went into prison, I had to shave it. I'm actually going to show you guys something here. So when you're a PEP participant, you have to form a business. It's a 9-month program. The first 3 months is intensive character development. And then the following 6 months is, business education, leadership training. And then also you have to go through a Shark Tank style business plan competition. And so every month we have events on both of our units. We operate on 2 units, the Oliver J. Bell unit, which used to be the Cleveland unit when I was there, that's just north of Houston, and then the Sanders Estes unit that is just south of Dallas. We have 2 classes on each unit every year. So they're on the Oliver J. Bell unit, there is a spring and fall class. On the Estes units, there's going to be your winter class and your summer classes. So roughly, we start out with, close to, I want to say 500-600 guys, maybe even more than that, who start that first phase. And then as they progress through, they decide maybe it's not for them. Whatever reason, some of them parole out. We typically end up with about 350 who are starting that second phase. And most of those guys graduate that make it to that second phase. And part of that business phase is you have to start a business. And we give all participants 25 business cards. And so I want to show you guys my business card. This is me, Brandon Green, aka Swagger Wagon. I did not own my suite name when I started this. I'm sorry. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But this is my business card, and you see, clean shaven. That's what we're going to get back to today. So this is exciting. So before we get into it, I want to thank some people who, I wouldn't be here because of them. And then also some people that supported us. So our volunteers, we had so many volunteers that stepped up and donated as part of my beard campaign. Tim, Keith is incredible. Not only does he attend most of our events at the Oliver J. Bell unit, but he goes in on a weekly basis and heads up our men's life and our leadership academy phase of the program. And so not only am I thankful for Keith for giving a financial contribution, but I'm also thankful for the personal contribution that he's put into my life and so many more lives. There's Brad and Bob and Don, Lynn, who's one of our Estes volunteers. I just thank you so much for your contributions. And then there's another guy that his name's Shafiq. And Shafiq was part of my class. He came in when I was in class. I'm a famous Fall 16 graduate. And I want to share with you guys the first time I met Shafiq. So it's a short little video, but it. So I know that's silly, but I just, that means a lot to me. That opportunity to meet Shafiq and have him come to several more events and pour into my life and help me build my business plan. The name of my business was Local 7881, which was an artisan cooperative that really was built around helping artisans not only sell their products, but market their products and merchandise their products, because that's something that they've always kind of had an issue with. And so that was my business plan. I ended up making it to the finals in the business plan competition. I think I ended up coming in 3rd place, maybe 3rd or 4th place. But that was a huge honor for me. And really, I wasn't in it for the business. I thought I was, but that first 3 months, that character development is what really changed my life. And that's what I'm here to do today, but also to shave the beard. So before we do our first interview, I think I'm gonna get started and shave this. So I'm not gonna shave the whole thing though first. One thing about the PEP staff, about 95% of all staff are former graduates. So that's incredible. Most of the guys have gone through the program, been a part of the program, but there's also a lot of facial hair on the staff. I'm definitely the one with the most facial hair, but there's quite a few. And so the first thing I'm going to do is what we're going to call the Pat McGee or the Stephen Guajardo look. I'm going to pause this so I don't hurt your ears. All right, so this is what we call the Pat McGee or the Stephen Guajardo. They've got a little kind of strap here, still got the goatee going on for the most part. So here we go. This is the Pat McGee and Stephen Guajardo. So I had a few staff members who decided that they wanted to contribute to my beard campaign. Courtney, who's our bookkeeper, stepped up and made her and her family made a great donation. And then Jeff Humphrey, who made a donation. And so I decided I wanted to talk to Jeff and see what it was that inspired him to give, but also kind of what PEP meant to him. So let's cue this up and let's talk to Jeff. So I'm here with Jeff Humphrey. Jeff, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Humphrey. I am the current manager of the Leadership Academy Correspondence course for PEP. And what we do, we start off the new men from 60 different units with our Leadership Academy correspondence curriculum. And we get them on the track to get started with the first part of the PEP program. I'm not sure if you want any more than that, Brandon.
No, I don't think so. I think that's good. So tell me how you got involved with PEP.
So I got involved in PEP in 2007. And my brother was introduced to some people through his network of contacts in the securities world, in the stock market and so forth. And so he had heard that there were some issues going on with the Texas State Prison, and that there was a program that had been started to help those people. And my brother had been helping me at that time to try to get reestablished because I had been out of prison for several years at that time. And so my brother and I went and we told our story of the reunification of the family after me getting out of prison.
Awesome. That's super cool. I bet you brought up one really good, interesting point, and that was the reunification of family. How important, in your opinion, is that process? Is that reunification process?
I think it's very important because what had happened in my life is I had made so many missteps that my family had basically gotten to the point that they didn't have a lot of faith and confidence in me anymore that I was going to do the right thing. And so it took me a while before I could make them, I didn't make them do anything, don't get me wrong, before they would see that there had been a change that had taken place in me, and so that they could have some hope.
Perfect. And so Jeff and I met while I was in prison at the Oliver J. Bell unit. It used to be the Cleveland unit. Jeff, you want to kind of explain how you and I got connected?
Sure. So, in the process of me, getting involved in volunteer work, I was involved in a lot of 12-step work. And so, I was already involved with PEP. And so I talked to the staff about starting a Celebrate Recovery class on the Cleveland unit. And so I got that class started with Christy's help and was going in there. And then Brandon came to class because he had a little bit of prior experience with Celebrate Recovery. And so he came in and he knew the program, and it was great. He was a great asset to me, and that he was able to facilitate the class. And we tried to keep it as close in format as it would be if they were going to Celebrate Recovery on the outside.
Perfect. Yeah. So I think that's one of the main things I loved about Celebrate Recovery is that it wasn't just drugs, it wasn't just alcohol. It was just all hurts have hangups, and I think that was a unifying thing, which for PEP, I think that's kind of a core foundational message for us is unity. And so bringing in a program like Celebrate Recovery that really kind of endorses that unifying message is important. Last question I have for you, Jeff, is you contributed to my beard campaign. So I first want to thank you publicly and just, I really appreciate it because it is going to go straight back to PEP and help us to transform lives, restore families, and rebuild communities. But what was it? What spurred you to participate in this campaign?
Brandon, I know you. We worked together every Thursday night for a couple of years. And so, we became good friends. And when I saw that you were doing this fundraiser, well, I make regular donations, and I feel like that it's important for me to give back what was really given to me. And so, in the process of giving back around the end of the year, I had a little bit of a few funds that I wanted to donate, and I saw you pop up, and I said, "Hey, I want to get the party started." And so I think I was number two
Yep,
on
you were.
donations on that. And I saw you when you didn't have a beard.
That's right. That's right.
On the inside, Brandon wasn't so woolly. He was pretty clean cut guy when he first came, and and it's not like that I don't like the beard or anything, but I just saw an opportunity to, hey, let me help to prime the pump. People will see people donating for this, and they'll get on board for a good cause, and that is the money goes to PEP to where we can continue to help other men on their transformation journey.
Awesome. Well, again, I thank you so much for getting the party started. I believe it was you and a friend of mine, Katie, who really kind of kicked it all off. So thank you so much. And I thank you for all that you do. I love that you're now part of the PEP team and that you really are the catalyst in being that first touch point for our guys on the inside. So thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate you visiting with me today.
You're welcome, Brandon. And it's always great to hear from you. And keep the lines open, right? And we'll continue to help men and anyone else anytime we can.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeff.
You're welcome.
Wow, that's super cool. Again, I'm super thankful to Jeff for all he does. The words can't even describe kind of what the impact that PEP has. We have a few people who, have said some stuff here in the chat. First one is Pat McGee telling me to do it. And then I think he got upset when I basically said that I was going to do the Pat McGee. I mean, there's too much hair here. So we're going to get rid of that. But he said I need to go to the Courtney Dykstra then. So that's where we're headed. We're headed to there. We're headed there. We're going to get there. I promise. But I do want to just let everybody know, Jeff talked about how important it was for him, important to his family. There's thousands of people that PEP has touched. And so I do want to say that, there is an opportunity. If you still want to give, you can go to pep.org / Brandon's Beard. And some people are watching live there right now. But there's a button there where you can donate. And I even said for every $100 that comes in while I'm doing this, that's an extra day that I have to keep the beard off. So if you feel inclined, please go ahead, jump on pp.org/Brandon's Beard and make a donation. So I also want to thank a few more people, some of our just longtime supporters, people who've been with PEP for quite a while, who maybe have lost touch with us, but they kind of got re-engaged through this. And, so there's Courtney and there's Nicole and there's Amber, Sarah, John, Priscilla. These are people who I reached out to try to reconnect because I saw that PEP had meant something to them, and they stepped up and they made donations as well. So I want to thank them publicly for all that they have done. My next interview, before we get there, we're gonna do more shaving. Got to get more of this off. So now we're gonna go to what I call the Roger Bewley, or really it's called right now it's the Tim Hamilton. He's sporting this really nice goatee. So let's get to that point now. All right, that's weird. That's super weird. I do look like Tim Hamilton right now, kind of like Colonel Sanders, which is funny because that's Roger Bewley's sweet name. So I'm going to try to be Roger Bewley right now. My name is Roger Bewley, aka Colonel Sanders, because I'm finger licking good. If you guys don't know Roger, he was in the class before me. I was a peer educator with him at the Oliver J. Bell unit. He's an incredible guy, and he is the touch point for all donors and donations that come in. So a lot of you have probably interacted with him at some point. Totally wonderful guy. So here we are. Now I've got the Roger Bewley, the Tim Hamilton. I told Al I wasn't going to call him out, but this is also the Al Massey. Hey, I'm Al Massey. Boomerang 2, Granny Panties. Brian Kelly has just texted me and called me Duck Dynasty. So that's funny. I got that text, Brian Kelly. So now let's go to my next interview. My next interview is with an incredible guy. He was one of my classmates. He's also a life caddy for PEP. For those who don't know what a life caddy is, he's going to explain it in this interview. But, Michael Galloway, Tim Hamilton has just texted me and says, bro, you so don't look like Tim Hamilton. You're right, I don't. I got a little bit extra hair, I think. But I do. I want to talk now. I want to go to this interview with Michael Galloway. Michael Galloway, one of my brothers from Famous Fall 16. And let's talk to him.
My name is Michael Galloway, aka, let's go old school with this one, Baby Simba. Hakuna Matata. What a wonderful phrase. There you go. Memories right there.
Right? Well, Michael Galloway is not only a friend of mine, not only a coworker, but he's a fellow Famous Fall 16 brother. We were both in the same class. Graduated in December of 2016. If I'm not mistaken, Michael was Mr. PEP for the class.
I was not.
You weren't? I thought you were. Maybe you were one of the runners up. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But really, I just wanted to bring Michael on. Michael's a life caddy. So I think first, why don't you explain what a life caddy is and what a life caddy does?
So what a life caddy does, and the whole objective of why our job title exists, is so that we can assist our brothers that get out of prison with the knowledge, the tools, and the resources so that they can become employable, so that then they can become employed and be successful in life and in all areas of life. We're like the term says, caddy, like we help guide them. We're there to not carry their load, but to just kind of help them along the way with things that are everyday struggles for guys that come out of prison.
Perfect. And so, can you elaborate a little bit? So, when a guy gets out of prison, kind of what does that first step look like?
Okay, when a guy first gets out of prison, we consider this, and this is across all different reentry programs. They say first contact is very important. And so when somebody's coming out of prison, they are overwhelmed because they go from one extreme to another extreme. And they're the most influenced right then and there within those first 2 weeks. And so we are there most of the time to pick them up, because when you see a face that's familiar to you, and you see like that you have assistance and you have help, it reduces that level of stress, and you feel some type of security. And that's what we give them, especially when we pick them up from the unit. It's a beautiful thing.
Perfect. And it is a beautiful thing. My family ended up picking me up, and we're going to talk to my mom here in a little bit.
Okay.
And she'll explain why. Our CEO, Brian Kelly, explains that there was nothing that PEP could have done that was going to stop her from seeing her son. My mom felt the same way. But I would say 80% of our guys probably either don't have that option or make the choice to go with what they would consider the successful choice in reentry. Now I just really want to hear from you on what PEP means to you personally.
Man, PEP to me is by far a complete fresh start outlook. And it's a brotherhood. It's something that I take through and through. And you know what? In my life and in my personality, like, I've always taken things to the extreme. If I was gonna be a part of a gang, I was gonna do it to the best of my ability. If I was gonna sell drugs, it was gonna be the best of my ability. And when I found Christ, I did that to the best of my ability. But then when I was sold through PEP sold me. They had me at our graduation when they flew down my grandmother from New Hampshire, paid for the flight, paid for the hotel, paid and transported her to come visit me after. I was sold. And so when PEP gave me their best, I said, you know what? I'm going to go gung ho for PEP, and I want to give back. And that's what it means to me. It means the brotherhood. The brothers like you, for instance. We went through class together. We went through the storm time and time again. All the homework that we went through. You remember all that? All the wonderful pitches, everything. We did that together, and we do life on the outside. And it's that support system, just like that.
Yeah, I love it. I love hearing the story of graduation with your grandmother. Similar situation with me. My fiance, was from Winnipeg, Canada, and they worked with her to get her flown down to Cleveland, Texas, and helped her with everything so that she could be there for my graduation. And so, I talked to Jeff Humphrey earlier, and one thing that he talked about, he didn't go through PEP himself. He talked about it doesn't matter if you're part of PEP or you're not part of PEP. Something that's super important is that family reunification and making sure that those lines of communication are open between family members. And so the common theme here, I think, for today, PEP's mission is to transform lives, restore families, and rebuild communities. But it's that middle one, that restoring families part of it. If we didn't have that, I don't think we'd find success. So I really appreciate you sharing that part of your story. Of course. I thank you for your time. Is there anything else you'd like to say before I'll let you go?
You know what, Brandon? I really admire your work ethic, and I really admired everything that you did when we were servant leaders on the inside. Man, you really shed a light, especially when it came to being on the media team. And I saw that you had such a passion and a gift for it. And to see you be doing it here on the outside for our brothers, and that just reaffirms that God is using you. You know what I mean?
Well, absolutely. And I appreciate that. I appreciate you saying that. And I love being your coworker. I love being a classmate with you. And so I look forward to continuing to do life with you. And I thank you for helping me shed a little bit of light on the power of the prison entrepreneurship program.
Absolutely, brother.
All right. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate Michael talking with me and sharing his personal perspective of what PEP meant to him. It was wonderful going through class with Michael. He is just such an incredible guy. So, I say he's an incredible guy. He had something inside of prison called the Wolf Pack, and it was this intense fitness program he was having us do inside of prison. And there were days that, I couldn't even walk upstairs to my dorm in my dorm because I couldn't even make it from the rec yard back into my dorm because some of the workouts that he would put me through. And I ended up just saying, you know what, I'm good. I'm just going to run around the track. I don't need to do all of this. So anyway, we're going to go. I got more beard to shave. So let's get to that. Who am I doing next? I could do the Jeff Humphrey, that tiny little mustache. I don't know. Oh, you know what I'm going to go to? I do know what I'm going to go to. The Gami Hasso. Let's go to the Gami Hasso. And this is what we call the Gami Hasso, fool. Gami Hasso is our in-prison manager at the Estes unit. And so he's got this nice little goatee. It's kind of trimmed right here. Gami's an incredible guy. Tim Hamilton says if I stop right now, I could be an Amish furniture maker. And that's 100% correct. I love my beard, but I love PEP more. As I said in my interview with Michael, the mission of PEP is, to transform lives, restore families, and rebuild communities. And there's a common theme, as I said. Jeff talked about the reunification with his brother and his family. Michael talked about the relationship being restored with his grandmother. And while I didn't have a terrible relationship with my family, that's a key component of the success of PEP. And for those who don't know, the Prison Entrepreneurship Program has a whole team. Family liaisons, and that's all. They're the main line of communication between our participants on the inside and their family members. And they're the ones who work so hard to get Michael's grandmother down from New Hampshire, to get my fiance, who's now my wife. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary yesterday. So she's watching. Happy anniversary, Melissa. But they work so hard to make sure that family connection is made. There's tons of stories that are just so incredible about families who had given up on their family member, on their sons, on their husbands, on their brothers, never wanted to talk to them again. And our family liaisons worked with them to help them understand the true transformation that happened. That this just wasn't something that happened on the outside, on the surface. That this was true transformation. It wasn't change. Change, is what I'm doing right now. I'm changing my look, but transformation is something that is from the inside. And that's why we focus for 3 months on intense character development. And so that I really want to stress that this is what today's about, is talking about families. I had some great friends and family members who donated, so I want to thank them. My first donor, my friend Katie, I'm gonna call her Oklahoma Katie. She was our first donor. Jeff was my second donor. And then Michelle, who, this is something that's really close to her heart. And so I appreciate her making a donation, because it was something that, she felt really strongly about. And then there's Katie, my sister. She made a donation, so I want to thank her. And Paul and Bev, my in-laws, Melissa's parents, they made a donation because they've seen, this program and what it does and the kind of people that it creates. And so before we get to my last interview, which is my mom, she's the person who is the most happy about this. So she's grateful. She contributed as well, but she's grateful that we raised this money so that this beard can come off, because she likes me so much more without my beard. But I do want to address some of the chat out there. So I want to say hello to Dustin Ball, Michael Daffin, another famous Fall 16 graduate. I love seeing your stuff in the chat. I love the text messages I'm getting. And Allison, who is super sick, she manages all of our corporate relationships and our foundations. She still got on chat. She's still watching this, and she's just she can't believe that I've used this beard because she says I have these incredible cheekbones that are to die for. So I'm addressing that. But let's, before I talk to my mom, let's just go ahead and make her happy, and let's get the rest of this beard off. My wife just texted me and said that she is the least happy about this. All right, there we go. That's most of it off. The rest of it I'm going to have to do with the razor, and I'll do that later, I promise, and we'll have photos and all of that. But let's go to my mom. And I just do want to address Melissa's text to me. She is not the most unhappy about this. I'm the most unhappy about this. I love that beard. But so without further ado, I want to have a personal account, a live interview with my wonderful mother. So let's bring my mom on. Hey there, how are you?
Hey, Bob. How's it going?
It's good. How are you? Have you been watching?
I have, and I would like to say how pleased I am, but also clarify that I love you no matter what you look like. But I do like seeing your clean shaven face.
Well, it'll be totally clean shaven soon. So thank you so much for obviously making a contribution, but for joining me here, being a part of this, because it is important to me, and I know because it's important to me, it's important to you. But you are, the perfect person to talk to, who has experienced, all facets of the prison entrepreneurship program. And so first, I just want to ask you, so what does PEP mean to you?
It means more to me than I can say. It gave me my son back, new and improved. And, I'm just so grateful to the PEP program. And they brought me there for his graduation. And that was a great time of bonding for my future daughter-in-law, who at the time, but who is now my daughter-in-law, Melissa. They contributed to that relationship as well. So thank you for all they did for me personally. For you, you know how much I love you. I just can't thank volunteers every day, and that is so important. And you just seeing dedication and your commitment long term means everything to me. It just makes me feel like I did something right. So
Well,
to
good.
Brian
I'm glad.
Kelly, I have had the opportunity to Brian Kelly personally. I love you, man. To Roger Bewley, who has helped me volunteer in a way, and I have also volunteered at the Estes unit before, and it just I want to give back. I love to donate because I love to thanks and appreciation that PEP means to me.
Do you have a favorite memory? Do you have something that stands out to you from when I was inside the program, inside of prison? You know, anything that you just like, something was just like this, you realized how powerful this program was?
Just, I mean, the change that I heard in your voice when I talked to you on the phone and the excitement, you don't know how much that made my heart happy. And it was a hard time, but this, I could tell that it was giving life back to you, to the I raised, and the man that you've become.
Awesome. Well, obviously, I thank you for your support. I thank you for being there with me every step of the way, supporting PEP as a volunteer, as a donor. It means a lot. And you are one of hundreds of family members who probably could talk forever about the impact of PEP. But this is probably, you're the person who's the most happy about this, outside of maybe Tim Hamilton, is our CFO. He's probably happy too, because that was $30,000 to go back to our bottom line and help us in our operations and get us kickstarted for 2021. But I thank you for being here. Is there anything else you want to say? Any other shout outs?
To Rodney B, just know that you're always in my prayers, and you mean a whole lot to me. And I would have never met you if it hadn't have been for the PEP program. So, hey, Rodney.
All right. Well, thanks, Mom. I love you. Thank you for being here. I'm sure I'll talk to you soon.
So proud of you, son. I love you.
Oh, well, here it is. It's mostly clean shaven. I'll get the rest of it off. But again, I just want to thank everybody who joined us here tonight, participated in this. I want to thank the entire PEP staff. It takes a team to really create this transformation. And I love being a part of the Prison Entrepreneurship Program as a participant, as an alumni, and as a staff member. It means so much. And so you see here, what can I do? Right there, that's our PEP logo, right? But then you see this, and this is a little different, and this is special. So after our guys get out, they have an opportunity to continue their education and go through something we call eSchool. And eSchool is this 18-week course where they learn life skills, balancing a checkbook, social media etiquette. We've got this core curriculum. We have a volunteer that was from the Estes unit named Carl Bracey, who is just the most incredible volunteer and the most incredible human being, who we have now brought on as our director of education, and he has revolutionized our eSchool program. And so when you graduate eSchool, you become an alumni and you get to wear the wings. And so one thing that we always say in PEP is, we live between the wings, and that's something that's reserved for PEP participants. That's something special. And so that's why in all my photos and what you see right here is why I'm wearing the wings, is because it means so much to me. So I thank you, everybody who participated, everybody on chat. I think I saw Reginald Davis, Brian Reed, just guys who are, doing so good. I mean, I talked about Dustin Ball. Dustin Ball has a business that's taken off. Brian Reed has a business, and these businesses aren't really. Everybody needs to make money, but they've started businesses that want to help other people succeed. And so I want to shout out to both of those guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining me in the chat. But thank you for making it, for just paying it forward. That's something that we always talk about. And so I'm going to wrap this up with one last appeal, and just say, if you want to help, you can go to pp.org/Brandon'sBeard, make a financial donation. There's also a button on there that says get involved in 2021. If you want to sign up to receive our newsletter, if you want to, be a volunteer, whatever, you want to do, whether you can contribute financially or you want to become a volunteer, both opportunities are there at pp.org/Brandon'sBeard. So go visit that. Also encourage you, visit our YouTube channel, watch the videos, really get a deep understanding of what PEP is doing, because it's more than just a program. It's a revolution. So thank you again to everybody, and I hope to see you in prison soon.